Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird. We're back with Nick, Jay, and Jose.
It's weirdly artistic. We're talking art.
We're talking weird and everything under the sun.
Weirdly artistic.
Damn, that's weird.
Weirdly artistic.
All right, well, this is our intro episode. Welcome to Weirdly Artistic. I'm Jose.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Jordan.
So we're here to talk about and really grow people's expressions of themselves and how they express in art in general.
Life.
And all assets of it or aspects.
You know, we all live a life where we have to work. How do you express? How do you
What do you do
is
when you
digress
get home?
the correct
Do
word?
you, I guess,
No.
Decompress?
How do you decompress? Yeah, that's a good one. How do you
Yeah.
decompress? How do you de-stress to express yourself? You know, whether it's music, whether it's filming, whether
Or
it's
if you
painting,
find yourself in a rut
Knitting.
and you're not
knitting,
expressing
like
yourself.
honestly everything. Like
this
how do
is
you?
a
How,
show for you?
we want to reach out
It
to
is.
everyone that does some sort of art, and we want to see their struggles, what they've done to get to where they are.
Inspiration.
Where do you get your inspiration from? Just everything, honestly.
Yeah. So
Well, I
we'll
think
have
it's
some fun guests on too.
Yeah, and
So
it's a
plan to,
platform
yeah.
for kind of what you were saying is we won't have answers or the correct answers, but I think it's a good platform of a lot of different people that have or been in this industry
Yep.
that you may be able to relate to, that you can say, hey, I'm kind of going through that, or I'm dealing with something similar.
Well, I mean, something like we've talked about is just getting perspective. Like, from,
What's the saying? Be creative and gain perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
There
the
you
one
go.
right there.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
creative and gain
Be creative,
perspective.
gain
So that's the whole overarching goal of this, is to just see what other people have, bring to the table. I
just
mean,
reach out to everyone.
yeah,
I think.
Maybe future, bring it to a live show, have live callers.
that
live
would be
people,
awesome.
Live actors, or not actors, but I mean
Honestly,
guests.
that's
Guests that are
that's a goal.
actors, musicians, like that. That's
We're just going to
where
take
I
over
wanna take
SNL,
it, so.
honestly.
Just do skits instead of the episodes.
Yeah, it just pure skits.
We could do the skits in here. We just need a bendy stage.
Yeah, we do a bendy stage.
What are those called again? Not a cyclorama.
Cyclorama?
Yeah, but is that
That's the official.
cyclorama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyclorama?
I've always
Cyc
called
wall.
it just a cyc wall.
Yeah.
But now, what is the new one called? I wonder.
The LED one?
Okay, so it's an LED cyc wall.
Yeah, it's the same thing,
Okay.
but they like mesh the
sense.
ground into
Yeah.
the walls.
Yeah, I think you were telling me about that the other
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah, we were talking about it
That's-
at lunch. It's Disney pretty much
Yeah.
invented it.
Which,
course they
which I
did.
think is insane. Like, you're able to just shoot and have the correct light, correct everything.
For 10 hours.
Controlled environments.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, like that's one thing they were doing with like sunsets. Like, you don't have to film for 5, 6, X amount of days. You could just have it one full day of the exact same
Exact same
lighting
shot.
that you need. Yep.
Or
Crazy.
like having
That's-
to wait for this time of the year to get like the fog in this certain area, like little things like that. Or,
Or
the
fall.
sun changes at this, like, oh man, we didn't get enough shots in fall. We got to reshoot.
We got to wait till next
Yeah.
year.
That's I never really
It's
thought about
scary,
that, but yeah,
yeah.
like
But
you'd
that's
have
like
to
a
like put back a movie for a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now it's getting made. I feel like movies are getting made a little too quick now because
Yeah, they got to slow down.
they got to slow it down and get more detailed in there. But I do like how it has helped the progression of like endless possibilities. Of
The tech
any
is cool.
environment. Yeah,
The tech is really, really
tech
cool.
is ridiculous.
Which we will get into in one of these
Yes.
episodes
Yes.
because we are nerds here.
I think we're going to talk about everything, honestly, at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that capability is going to come soon, honestly, to Blackmagic because we have the 3D tracking capability with having the data, the sensor
Oh,
from the
with
gyro.
the gyro in there. Yeah.
So that's what everyone,
connect
as soon as
screens.
that technology came out, everyone started talking about that, of being able to sync that ball in the future with any VR environment. So
Dude.
that's what everyone's
insane.
Blackmagic. Hold your fingers crossed. Like even the 4Ks, that the fact that we could do the gyro stability of like the camera data showing the computer, it's just insane. Like super smooth.
So AOP is our company. It's a production house. We're sitting in it right now, which is freaking awesome.
Multiple rooms.
Many rooms, many walls. But our day-to-day right now, we service 4 or 5 residual clients. One dealing with stormwater and the EPA, which is super cool. We're helping
Keeping
keep
the
your water
place clean.
clean. Yeah, that's one of the sayings, keep clean water clean. But yeah, we do that. And then we've got some social media clients. We have some event clients, and then we do weddings. And the day-to-day, though, I mean, is pretty much what you assume. You show up to your studio and or office, wherever you're at. And if we need cameras, we get those set up. If not, you sit down and lock into a screen for 8 hours.
Yep.
And pray for that 4 o'clock bell.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple weeks in here, we've been doing a lot of shoots in the morning and then coming back and then editing in the afternoon. So it's been
been
pretty
busy.
hectic. Yeah, it's been pretty hectic. But I mean, it's a good stress. I
It
think.
is. It's the right kind of stress.
It keeps you going, which is nice.
I'd rather be stressed with having too much to do than be stressed because I'm worried about bills for next month.
And honestly, like that brings like such a big anxiety.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like there's days when like I've been sick where I'm like, dude, I am so bored at home.
Yeah. I think
And
we
it's
should
just
talk
like-
about that is the stress of being an artist and like payment and all of that. I think we dive into that. That is
Oh yeah.
easily one of the most universal.
Well, it's not like a 9 to 5 where you're guaranteed your 40 hours. Like if hours don't necessarily matter too much. It's like you just
the
got to
hard-
get it done. Like you have deadlines. You don't
Yeah.
have a shift. You have deadlines. So you have to make sure you get stuff done before then. You have to manage your own time, and there's no. You're here from 9 to 5, so this is what you're gonna do 9 to 5. You have to make your own schedule. You have to figure out what you need to do, what needs to get done, what takes priority.
What's your pace?
Yeah, and it's. I mean, you're lighting your own fire under yourself to get you going. Like no one else is gonna push
Push you to do it. Yeah.
exactly.
It's kind of the beauty, though.
The stress of it too is also like your clients don't know how much goes into the back end of the work, like at all. Like this work is tough. Like there's a lot of attention to detail and a lot of years. Not just school can't teach you everything for this job at all. It's a lot
Don't
of
go
just
to film school.
look at yeah.
Take it from me. I mean, you have
Yeah,
you
I
had
ha-
your was it masters?
No, I have a
Or-
bachelor's in
But I
film
mean,
and
you want
production.
yeah. So take it from Nick. He
Yeah.
knows what he's talking about.
It's not worth it.
You can get a lot of experience going into the field, filming, but your experience comes from reading and watching. Go online.
just
There's
doing
so
it.
much free knowledge.
Yeah.
But that's
I
the
mean,
hard part, though. It
YouTube
takes
University.
years. Takes years though to get to getting your eyes set. We're videographers and photographers. Like exposure, white balance. That's what you got to dial in. That's the number one thing. You got to know how to
Get
walk
your
into an
eyes used
environment
to
in
it.
your room. Yep, and instantly know I'm going inside to go shoot this next scene. So I know it's going to be cooler in there or something. If you're running, gunning or whatnot.
Yeah.
So just kind of knowing your next situation at all times too with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, love our jobs.
Oh, I would never change
No,
anything.
I'm-
Can you imagine, dude?
I'm-
If we were at a 9 to 5 right now, you know what we'd be doing?
Work.
Kissing someone else's
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
We'd be
I
working.
think it
it's
helps
like-
my OCD because I just get locked in and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, you get locked into stuff.
Yeah.
But
It also helps that like we can choose like our work environment. You know,
Mhm.
like I mean, it's us three. There's no like Billy Bob got hired and he doesn't work well. It's like
no, we can choose who's here
exactly.
and what we do.
So it's nice having a core group of like-minded people that are actually like trying to get somewhere.
I think that if a lot of artists and or videographers or people like that just opened up a little bit, I think that everyone would get along a lot better in this world. I mean, we've worked with some people that are like,
There is that stipulation of competition
Well,
between
I know-
Yeah.
between.
I think
hate
you
that.
mentioned it before
Yeah.
when you moved to Miami, where
Yeah.
like the environment was just so cutthroat, where it was like, who
Oh,
can I
yeah.
climb over to get the next
Oh
gig?
yeah.
or
yeah.
stab or
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But that's
and
even
it's-
like it's up here.
it's
Like,
always good.
The
It's like-
competition is so weird though, because
Yeah.
it's like, can you imagine if we just collaborated? And,
Yeah,
like, just
we
worked together on
collaborated.
this. Like,
He could have came beside me and befriended the moment and been like, I'll pay you $100 to come get extra footage,
Yeah.
and then make a friend.
and then
Boom.
we teach him how we do things. He teaches us how
Mm-hmm.
he does things. Like we've shot for other wedding videographers, and I think as a shooter, you obviously have your style or have your methods of doing things, but there's always like the separation of doing it your way and then doing it a way that works for everyone else as well.
Yeah.
And like with the wedding stuff, we obviously have to tailor to whoever we're working for.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to fit their style or fit get the shots that they know that they need. But there's a couple guys that we've worked with that like just completely turned down our work. They were like, this isn't my style. This doesn't work for me. And it's like, well, then, I mean, you hired us for
A reason.
our style.
And that's where contracts come in tight. That's what you learn being a young videographer is like get contracts going with work and make sure that in there you have that little clause that says you've approved my work, you've seen it, and
Yep.
that'll save your ass. When I was a young stupid kid not knowing, I didn't have a contract with a client, sent somebody else, and card got effed like on accident, and it just wasn't a good gig. I had to give all the money back, like, and it just was like I didn't have anything in contract. And
Well, we also take half down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's non-refundable.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you gotta. That's part of the contract.
also pick and choose your clients.
Yeah. I mean,
If
you'll get there.
You got to just trust your gut. If somebody is like seems like a little bit too much, like I don't
Yeah,
know.
don't-
Trust your gut a lot with clients. Like
I think the
don't say
craziest
yes to
thing,
everything.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing
Yeah.
is you don't have to say yes to everyone.
Uh huh.
I think it's better to say yes to the ones you know you're worth doing. I think you get more out of it than just doing every single gig that comes across your table. Like,
Oh yeah.
that was a really hard thing for me to learn. It was like, oh, I just want to make money. I just want to pump this stuff out. But then it was hindering my quality. And then people were noticing, like, this isn't your style. Like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's just the rough cut. Like, I'll get you the better one. You know, give me a week. But
Yeah.
like, there's a fine line between that. But I think when you get to the point where you're like, nah, I don't need that gig. I think that's when you realize you found your groove.
I think it could be cool. I don't know. Maybe to make things go smoother, even with clients and stuff like that. Like trying to rush you on work, in contracts have a little thing that's like, for instance, like I don't know if this clause or something how it would work. Be like, if I drew a picture in 2 minutes, this is what it would look like. If I drew a picture in 5 minutes, this is you would get this.
Give them
If
an
you
actual
gave
scale.
me 3 days to draw this same piece of a hand, you would get a piece of Picasso. So
Yeah.
get off my back.
Yeah, leave me
Picasso,
alone.
I like it.
I like
No, let me detail-y get it done and
No,
make
I
it
mean
nice.
it's really true. Like I've seen that where people don't understand how much work goes into it.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
it's a
it's
crap ton.
you have to show up. You organize the media once it's all
Yeah.
shot. You have to edit.
You got to organize the
export.
timeline.
Yeah, you
and
have
then
to. There's so much.
gotta
on the
charge
back
all your
end.
batteries before.
Exactly. There's so much on the back end that I don't think people like really pay attention to or like understand or
I
even
think
want
it's
to
still
understand.
seen as a hobby.
Yeah, I think
It's
still
still
has
a
that
hobby.
stigma.
I think when we show up with those cameras, though, they don't think it's a hobby no more.
No, not anymore. No, they know what's going
I mean,
on.
today, how much is that camera?
I was gonna say exactly.
It's a down
Everywhere I
payment on
go,
your car, buddy.
yeah. Let's say everywhere I go, people at shoots or
Yeah.
wherever,
I
they're
mean,
like,
when we went
"Dude,
hiking,
that's a serious camera." Like, yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
they
it
are.
is. We're very
Even-
serious.
I was filming at a church, and this guy came up to me. He's like, "They use those in my he's military. He's like, "They use that in my unit. We do a video for like ads and stuff like that for the military." But in the military, he was like,
Dang,
he was
that's
like,
what
"Do you
we're
want to
using."
sign up?" No, and I was
No.
like,
No.
"No."
Do I get a bulletproof vest?
He's like, "You could do reserves." I was like,
still
"No."
Still no.
I'm actually too old now. Thank you.
That's what I said. I tried to say it.
You are
it-
too.
Yeah.
I said that
think
to him, and he goes, "Oh no, you can totally go in still."
It's
No,
not the way my body feels, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Not the way
my mind's telling me yes.
But my
body-
body telling me no. Yeah,
That's a
But-
great song.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, but
Bring back the good music. Bring it back, please.
Bring back the soul in music.
yes.
I feel like it's coming back around a little bit with this next little generation of like kids. It's weird. Their music, I don't think they're all about the Machine Gun Kelly and big propaganda music, like how it's like pushed. What is that? A machine industry? Like
I have no clue.
Like industry born like artists.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like plant industry.
Where it's
plants.
like cookie cutter.
Cookie
type,
cutter,
yeah.
cookie. It feels like because the before this one, it was like one direction. Like so, my sister's on the way out of that. Now it doesn't feel as like much cheese. It like they like actual artists now.
Yeah.
Like more.
I think it's
Mac
just
DeMarco-y, indie. Like it's.
DeMarco,
I've
that's a
hear
good
one.
I've,
Like,
I've seen new musicians come out that actually play music in this year than. Well, not this like these recent years. I feel like from TikTok, from Instagram, They're becoming famous because they actually have to play, you know?
Well, I think that's like what the music industry was kind of moving more towards, where it's like, yeah, you can produce, but can you play? So I think a lot more people are moving towards that. Was like, yeah, I want to be a musician, not just like
A producer.
a producer, or
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to just be the science guy in the studio, like. So
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's also like, think of the requirements as we've like progressed in technology. And so like the 2000s, you know, this high tech recording studio with all the different noises in the world that you can use. And it's like, let's produce something.
Yeah.
And so then that was like the next tier of music making. And now I think we're stepping out, and now it's like, you have performers like Ed Sheeran, who will have a guitar on his back and a loop board with a drum pad, and he'll do his whole show live
And I've
and
seen
make the music
multiple
there.
kids are coming out like
yeah.
that now. Lots of kids
Yeah.
are.
I think
just-
one of the best ones that I saw was Zoo. If you guys have ever listened to Zoo, he literally did.
Oh,
it was at-
ZHU?
Huh?
ZHU,
yeah,
yes,
Zoo.
yes,
If
yes.
you- oh my
I
God,
love
his
him,
music
dude.
is fantastic.
My favorite.
So
Found him in
I went to
Miami.
Paradiso. It was either Paradiso or Beyond
Yeah.
Wonderland, like when Paradiso died
Uh-huh.
and Insomniac took over. But he did a set, and he was playing instrument. He was playing like piano. He was singing himself. He was like, dude, he was doing so much on stage by himself. And I'm like, dude, you are a god. How are you doing this? And I think more people are realizing, you know, what is going to set me apart from everyone else that can
Oh,
just
yeah.
go into the studio and
Yeah.
and cookie cut everything together and stuff. You know,
Well, and how much of the tech can we combine together now? Like, because like I was saying, we had the tiers, you know,
Yeah.
70s, 80s, it was like we got instruments. 90s, 2000s, we started getting electronics.
And
Now
I think
we can mesh both.
2000 to 2020, honestly, was all just it's computer music.
Sampling.
Yeah, and it's
First
not
electric
bad.
guitar is 1960, I think, or 50 something, 1950 something, 57.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I like what's going on now.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting way better, and like I like the artists
I
that
say
were
get rid
very
of DJ Khaled and we're good.
Another one.
He just
Another
shows
one.
up on his Sea-Doo outside.
What'd you
like,
say?
He'll be the first person on the song where it's, you know, like they'll list it,
I
and then all he
cannot
does is
stand
say
his cheese
all
ballness,
he says is
dude.
another
I'm
one.
just like, is he really producing and making all this music by himself?
I mean, I'm
'Cause
sure he's making
so
the beats, and that's
cheesy,
what like entitles him to put his name on the song.
I mean, he's been in the industry for like 25 years.
yeah.
And he's not young. He's got to be close to 50 at this point.
Another one. Dude.
DJ Khaled.
You know what's crazy is like the first stardom and fandom in the world was Elvis for music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the first. Yeah,
That was like the big blow
And
up
that's
of
only-
fame
how
He
many
was the
years ago?
first?
Yeah,
of musicians.
that's
I mean, that
70,
was
80
the-
years ago. That was the first because the world was so. The world was so at that time. Everything was organized in like
was
government.
small.
Like it was
Yeah.
small. Like and you. Yeah, it was very straightforward and like respectful back then. And like
Have
I
you
don't
seen
know.
the new movie? Dude, you got to go watch that.
Yeah, so he's like one of the first
Baz
people that
Luhrmann?
started.
Jake Butler did the
The first
Yeah.
fandom.
he was-
Austin Butler.
Austin
Austin
Butler. That's
Butler.
what it was.
The first like girl crush like high school like guy that came out like that and
They did
insane.
that movie really gives you perspective of like how
much control.
the control, but also like how they spread the news back then.
Oh,
So much different. Like he would release something,
Radio.
yeah, and it was like
Yeah.
2 weeks later that he'd
Yeah.
find out that it
Yeah.
was big. Instead of like now.
That's- yeah, okay.
because you got to wait in the
So
mail
I
to
did
get
watch-
everything back and
yeah.
all the numbers.
I watched the
That's so
Johnny
sick.
Cash movie.
Yeah.
Was it Walk the Line?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
That's
Yeah. I mean,
70s though, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was like a little bit. I mean, it was around the same time because he met Elvis.
Yeah, it was around.
Yeah,
that
Elvis
shit.
died
yeah.
in 77. So
Yeah, so I mean, they were friends and like they,
Yeah.
they hung
Yeah.
out and like traveled together.
Elvis died in 77.
Mhm.
I thought he died when he was older. I thought he would made
thought
it
he
to the
was-
90s.
I'm pretty sure it's 77.
Who's got their phone?
I do.
70s. That sounds a
Possibly
little
Coors.
early.
Yeah, I thought he
it
lived
was
longer.
closer to, like,
That's
80s, 90s.
Jimi Hendrix died in the 70s. I thought.
August 16th, 1977.
Shit.
Okay, you're good.
Wow.
I was
Got it.
just in Nashville this last year.
Dude, I was
No,
like,
but, I mean that was like part of the
was old.
story. Was like he like a
Yeah.
song would blow up on the radio and he would find out like
Weeks
weeks
later.
later. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when he
Toss me a
first
Coors,
started,
please.
he worked for a radio station.
Yeah.
whoa.
It's in the movie.
I didn't know that. I actually do need to watch that, so I'll
Dude.
probably watch it tonight.
Baz Luhrmann, fire. He's the director. We'll go into this topic in depth when we do this episode, the directors, but he's an auteur.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
He is someone that you can watch and you know who made
Exactly,
it
yeah, okay.
with just watching it. Like he is dope. He did the Marilyn Monroe movie.
I haven't watched that either.
It's brutal, but
I mean,
it's pretty good.
I'd
I
watch
bet
it.
it's brutal.
Yeah. It's sad. So is the Elvis one too. The Elvis one is through the Colonel's perspective, which is his
The
manager.
Elvis?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's through his manager's perspective,
Interesting.
which is Tom Hanks.
You know what's crazy too is like how much drugs gets attached to the music industry, like how quick that happens, like instantly.
Well,
he was the first one though. He's the first star in America. one
yeah,
of the
but
first.
it's like you have so much money and like
Yeah.
nothing really to do with it 'cause you're traveling
Yeah.
all the time. So it's not like,
There's some-
hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and go bowling or go,
Yeah.
whatever.
He had one
It's-
in his house, so. it just-
Oh yep,
yeah.
yep.
What's it? Yeah,
But
you're-
even the Beatles, they were another early. They were like the first boy band, like really
They were
stardom boy
60s.
band. Yeah.
They were the UK startup.
Yep. Of the OG of like, and then they invented so much music too. They were the first ones to ever scream on recording and get released. Helter Skelter. It's
Really?
very interesting. Yeah. So, and it's cool. I don't know. We'll have to do a Beatles episode. Actually, I'll
I
bring
can't
out a
wait
whole
for the
thing.
music
Yeah.
episodes because
Yeah.
a Queen episode,
Oh,
That-
dude,
that's a
Yeah.
good
That's
episode.
a good movie, man. And his
Bohemian
life,
Rhapsody.
dude.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
could you
yeah.
work with that guy? Those guys had to be so blessed to. But he was so giftedly
Lost.
musically and going crazy, like all and lost and everything at the same time. Being a guitarist, like,
Yeah.
how do you stay with that guy that's brought you to stardom but's losing it?
He's
You know?
killing. He's
Yeah.
creating and killing your
You
career.
have to see some of those interviews, like with them together, like behind, like real life ones where the guy's like, "I'm done with this band," like whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
he's like,
drummer is very
it's
vocal
ridiculous.
about it, but
because Queen was trying to write in things like he was like, "Can't we just put a part in the song where we sing about shooting a man in the face and blah blah blah?" And like, yeah, he just
He had
started
to
saying
just
the
dumb it
weirdest
What?
ish, but yeah,
just kill the man.
I'm gonna have to watch these.
yeah.
Like,
You, gotta
listen
You
watch
haven't
on
seen
that.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Uh-uh.
It's good,
bro?
Dude,
Sad too. You feel
the
for him, honestly, a little
kind of like
bit,
what
yeah.
you said, where there's just so many movies that have been put out. It's like hard to keep track
It is
of everything.
of the good
I watched
ones.
The good ones too.
Yeah.
And like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
the last 4 or 5 years, I've noticed that like not a lot of movies get a lot of like attention.
Yeah.
Like they don't get the advertisement like that they used to, where it's like, hey, go watch this in
Well, it's because
theaters.
there's 10, not one.
All of a sudden now it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
it's on HBO or like it's
Yeah.
on whatever.
Yep.
Rocket Man.
See, that's one that I wanted
Rhapsody.
to watch.
I
was
haven't
Rocket
seen that
Man.
one either yet, and I used to watch it when I was a kid, like the old
Yeah,
one.
the
yeah.
actual.
Yeah,
uh,
I had
Elton
an action
John.
figure, like, and all
No,
that.
Rocket
yeah.
Man, like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elton John movie.
Yeah, the new one that just came out like a year ago.
I knew I was obsessed with sci-fi when
Yeah.
I saw that. That was like a young kid, and that's like implanted in my head.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's also a fantastic movie. So that one they did. When you are following Elton John, the song is playing from when it inspired him in his life.
What?
So there's like scenes when he's a kid, but you hear the adult Elton John version.
Oh.
So
Isn't
it's
it-
like what the memory came from.
Interesting.
It is so good, and it's Taron Egerton, dude.
That's
and
that guy,
dope.
yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
he sang every single one of the songs so well that Elton John was like, "No, use his voice, don't use mine."
And I love like Joaquin Phoenix did a good job too with like Walk the
Oh,
Line.
yeah,
Or like
yeah.
they had him singing like dude they did
They
fantastic.
did a great job.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton did such a good job that Elton John took him on tour with him for his last tour.
That's awesome.
To sing
Dude,
with him on
that's
stage.
great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. Just taking. Oh, I'm gonna take a year off of work and I'm gonna go on tour with Elton John.
Just gonna go hang out with
I'm gonna
one
go hang out on the road and get paid. To,
Dude,
and he's
that's-
probably
yeah.
getting
Oh,
banked
he's
doing
making
that,
money.
dude.
Yeah.
Shows
There's-
and arena shows, man. I'm telling you,
They would walk out $2 million a night, dude.
$2 million plus. Like your writer, Snoop Dogg's writer. A writer is what
they
an
write down
artist.
for like what they want in their.
Yep, this is
green
what
room,
it takes
right?
to
Yeah.
get me to come to this. Like, and so the green room, but your cost, everything, your writer, like your for the night. So like Snoop Dogg to
I've
come
seen some
out.
weird ones.
Snoop Dogg, I wanted to
Some
say
really
is
weird ones.
$200K a song, And then then he goes per minute after that. Like, how long do you want them? Like,
Damn.
and then
That's insane.
you gotta like provide blunts, all this stuff, dude.
Of course.
I knocked that off my list. I got to see Snoop Dogg last year.
That was-
so hyped, dude. It was legit.
Yeah, you got Snoop Dogg.
That's history in the books right there. One of the big West Coast rappers.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
I mean, he kind of
Changed.
revolutionized the whole West Coast rap.
He adapted with music and always stayed relevant. That's
Even
cool.
now.
Yes, which
Yeah.
is just like
Even now, like he's
mind
not necessarily
blown.
like in music, but he's doing a lot.
That's what I'm saying. DJ Khaled ain't gonna stick around like that. And you got people like Snoop, Jay. Wait, no. Wow, why can't I think of his name from one of the OG
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, but no. Who's
Like,
also
are
on
you talking
Jay-Z's team?
Dr.
Makes all the
Dre?
beat. Dr. Dre. Dr.
Oh.
Dre is still around, writing,
Jay-Z is
making
on
all the
Dr.
music.
Dre's team.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's true. Dr. Dre.
Dre's been around for.
Ever.
I mean,
It's
he
crazy,
was
like,
the NWA.
the
Like, that's-
invention of it, like,
yeah.
and of the music that is still around today, like, doesn't make sense. Like, it's so cool, but like, it's what 40 years maybe now of it. 40 years, I think. now of rap.
35,
Yeah,
35, 40.
30. That's
Yeah.
insane.
rap
'Cause-
has stayed prominent since around then because it came out.
NWA started like
Yep.
80s. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Because it was soul and blues and funk back then, really,
Yeah.
from that era. Like, I love music history. We'll have to do a fat episode.
Oh, we'll
about
do it.
that. Yeah,
I think it'll be a multiple parter,
yeah.
but
yeah,
that was a good
Yeah, the
little
history
tangent.
of music.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
good tangent.
Yeah, just a whole
Awesome.
history.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little idea for you
Yeah.
of what these will be about. We're gonna dive into different sections of the industry of what we all do and
To create.
what we do to create. And I think maybe in some point in the episodes we'll talk about what we do outside of creating.
Guess.
And
Games,
and then
maybe.
games and
Games.
talk about the
Games.
outside life and
We have cameras.
How we decompress.
how we
de-stress.
decompress. How does a creative decompress? But also, we are planning on having guests on the show. We're going to have people from the industries, music, film, and production. We're going to have artists on here. We're going to have other videographers. We're going to
Yep.
have other photographers, other musicians. I mean, we're going to have all different kinds of people on here. So there's a lot coming from Weirdly Artistic.
Yeah, we're excited. It's gonna be fun.
Very fun.
Very fun.
Got some episodes planned, and yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. Until next time.
Artistic.